There are four tiny Arabic words, an, anna, in, and inna. And when the harakat are written, they're easy to tell apart. But in real life, Arabic is usually written without them, and suddenly, they all look the same. So how do we know which one is which? Welcome to Arabic with Amina. And in this video, we're going to be identifying these words without the harakat. In last week's video, we explained the difference between these four particles, their pronunciations, meanings, how to identify them, and we worked through several examples for each one. This is the table we ended up with, and I just want to highlight a few key points. If you'd like a more detailed explanation, you can always watch that video first. So when you're trying to figure out which particle you're looking at, always check the word that comes right after it. Is it a verb? If it is a verb, then we've already eliminated 2 out of the 4 particles, and we're only left with an and in. If the word after it is not a verb, then it's a noun, usually part of a nominal sentence. And in that case, we're dealing with either inna or anna. Now we're going to go through some exercises and apply this knowledge together. And before we start, I just want to mention this is a really useful cheat sheet to differentiate all 4 particles. And you can download this and much more using the link in the description box below. If you want to watch the full explanation, you can also find last week's video linked in the corner above. Keeping all of that in mind, we're actually going to do some exercises or tamarin. So these exercises are going to be showing you the particles like this. No hamzas, no harakat, no sukun, no shadda. And I want you to use the sentence and the context of the sentence to identify which particle we are talking about. So we have the example. I'm not even going to say the first word. Blank. الدرس سهل. So blank, I don't know what that word means. The lesson is easy. Is that word alif noon an, anna, in, or inna? Take a few moments, pause the video if you need it. Go ahead, think which particle fits this sentence. I told you the first step in identifying the particle is to always look at the word after it. What type of word comes after this particle? All right, so I'll give you a few seconds before I answer. So which of these particles is it? Well, the answer is inna, which means indeed. Why and how? Let's go back to our table. Inna, indeed. Here, we can see that it introduces, and that is the fact here, it is the very beginning of the sentence. What does it introduce? It introduces a nominal sentence. And if we take a look at the word after inna, it is a dars, the lesson. So that's not a verb, that's a noun. So we have a nominal sentence here. Moving on to our next exercise. Alif noon, don't know how that's pronounced. نسافر أفضل من البقاء. Us, question mark, travel is better than staying. Is this an, anna, in, or inna? Again, pause if you need, take a few seconds, but analyze the sentence and try to figure out which of these particles is this alif noon. All right. So the answer is going to be an. And let's refer back to our table and see why. Well, an precedes a verb. And what is the word that comes after an? Nusafir, travel. So we have a verb. Yeah, we do have a verb, but doesn't in also come before a verb? It does. So how do we know this is an and not in? Well, what did we say about in? In will have two verbs after it, not one. And do you see another verb in this sentence? No, you don't. So this is an and not in. Moving on to read, not gonna pronounce it, تشتري سيارة. She wants something, buy a car. Is this an, anna, in, or inna? I will be answering in a few seconds. Okay, so the answer is an. Again, an precedes a verb. تشتري, to buy. And this time it's in the middle of a sentence. And if you look at the sentence, there are actually two verbs in it. To read, or wants, she wants, is also a verb. So why did we not choose in? Because in has two verbs after it. Here we have a verb before and a verb after. We don't have two after. So one before and one after, not two after. Moving on. أخبرني مريض. He told me you are sick. Is this an, anna, in, or inna? A few seconds and then I will be explaining the answer. So this alif noon is actually anna. أخبرني أنك مريض. How did we know? How did we identify it? Well, let's go back to the chart. Anna comes in the middle of a sentence. Here we can see it. It's in the middle of the sentence. What else? It links a verb to a nominal sentence. So before it is a verb. أخبرني. And what comes after it? أنك مريض. You are sick. That's a nominal sentence composed of a mubtada and a khabar. So we have a verb before, a nominal sentence after, and anna in the middle. And third, it can be conjugated. And as you can see here, it is conjugated to the kaf, which means you. Moving on to our last exercise. تمطر نجلس في البيت. It rains, we will stay at home. So is this an, anna, in, or inna? Take a few moments, pause the video if needed. We'll be answering in just a few seconds. Alright, so this alif noon is actually in تمطر نجلس في البيت. If it rains, we will stay at home. How did we know it means if, or it is the particle in? Well, in precedes a verb. And what's the word coming after it? تمطر, rains. That's a verb. But how many verbs do we have in this sentence to fulfill its meaning? We have, for in, you need two verbs to follow. So far we have one, which is تمطر. But look, we also have another, نجلس. We will stay. So for this sentence, we have in coming before two verbs for it to fulfill the meaning. So that is in, meaning if. If you want this sheet of an, in, anna, inna, so that you can reference it anytime you want and make learning Arabic much more easier by having this cheat sheet with you, then you can get this by clicking the link in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, which I'm really hoping you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss out on our next videos, and please do comment and share to help my videos reach other Arabic learners like yourself. See you next time. Arabic with Amina.